Real quick, can I be super honest with you? What's in my camera bag videos, everyday carry videos, what I travel with videos, any kind of videos where it breaks down the gear inside someone's backpack, what they carry with them on an everyday basis, or the gear they travel with, I cannot get enough of. I don't know what it is, but there's just something so satisfying about learning about how other people do things and why they carry certain gear. It's also pretty cool to understand and learn what type of gear some people use to get a certain result. Nonetheless though, today I'm going to be running you through what's in my camera bag for 2022. Last year I did one of these videos when I first started out with YouTube, and absolutely everything in that bag has changed since. So today, let's dive into what is in my camera bag. Okay, so first things first, let's start off with the actual bag. At the moment, I'm using the Low Pro Tactic 450 AW Mark II. This is a great backpack, and it's the only thing that hasn't changed from last year. It's super solid, it carries absolutely everything that I need it to, and this is exactly how I have it set up. So why this bag? Well, to be honest with you, I'm asking myself the same question. Back last year and the years prior where I was using this bag, this was perfect. I had big, chunky DSLR gear and I had a lot of it. But now that I'm running a much smaller, lighter, mirrorless camera setup, I do not need this bag whatsoever. It also looks massive. So I am looking to change it up in the next few months. If you've got any recommendations whatsoever, leave them down in the comments. I'd love to check them out. Moving on to the two camera bodies I use on a near daily basis. First one is the Canon R6. This pushes out all my photos and basically all of my videos. And next up is the Canon EOS R. Now you might be asking, Zach, why on earth do you have two cameras? And to that I would say is to film these YouTube videos and all my TikToks, my Reels, and my YouTube Shorts. See, a lot of the time I need two camera bodies because I need to film the other camera doing something, or I need to film myself doing something with my camera. And I can't do that without two cameras. So when I go out to shoot, the Canon EOS R is purely just a B camera, but here in the studio where it lives a majority of its life, it actually shoots all the videos that you see on this channel and everything that I put on my Instagram and my TikTok. Moving on to the Canon R6. This is a beast. Last year I was rocking the Canon 5D Mark IV and the GH5, but my god was it heavy and super inconvenient to carry around two cameras, obviously one for photo and one for video. Now that I've got the R6, it does both photo and video very, very well. I'm super impressed by it and I don't see myself upgrading anytime soon. With the ability to shoot 4K 60 in C-Log 3, I'm a very happy camper when it comes to this camera, and I am pumped with the stills. Even though they are only 20 megapixels, I still find I can professionally deliver the photos from the Canon R6. I can crop more than enough and the images still stay sharp and crispy. Talking about sharp and crispy images, this wouldn't be a what's in my camera bag without talking about my lenses. So I currently rock three lenses. The first one is the 24-70 2.8 RF IS from Canon. This thing lives on my camera about 95% of the time. I then have the 70-200 RF f4 from Canon. This thing is also a beast. I then have the 16mm 2.8 RF from Canon, and this is a prime lens. I'll knock over the 16mm first. This is purely just for ultra wide shots and for vlogging. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't think I could name 10 photos that I've taken with it in the last 6 months that I've had it, and I've really only shot any video with it if it was a vlog. Then we've got the 70-200. Now yes, I know the 2.8 version exists, and I used to have the 2.8 version back last year, but here is what I don't like about the 2.8 version: the size and the weight. It's crazy. One thing that I hated about the old EF version is that it had to lay down in my camera bag. And laying down in the camera bag is fine, unless you're pretty pushed for space. See, the thing is, if it was laying down, it would take up the room of about 3 other lenses that could stand up. And the thing that I love the most about the 70-200 RF f4 is that it stands up and it's actually smaller than the 24-70 that I've got. So this thing is amazing. Now I know the 70-200 2.8 RF is smaller, but it's still fairly heavy, it's pretty chunky, and for me, f4 is more than enough. I'm happy with every image that comes out of it. It's sharp, it's quick to focus, the stabilization is great, and I couldn't ask for more. And then last but not least, the lens that lives on my camera about 95% of the time, and the lens that's currently shooting this video, the 24-70 2.8 RF from Canon. Now I'd actually never owned a 24-70 2.8 lens before I got this, so I was a little bit hesitant, but I'd been wanting to try it out for quite a while. My first ever L lens about 5 or 6 years ago was the 24-105 f4, and I loved it. It was a super versatile lens, and whenever I'd go out to shoot, I never felt like I'd need to change lenses. And that is exactly what I get from this. Not only is this f2.8 throughout the entire zoom range, but the 24mm on the wide end is more than wide enough for all of my needs, and the 70 is more than tight enough for nearly 90% of all my telephoto needs, so this lens covers me incredibly well. And another thing that I cannot get over about this lens is the fact that it has image stabilization built in. Now this is something that the older EF version did not have, and the fact that this has it built in is amazing. The best part about all of this is it pairs up with the in-body image stabilization of the Canon R6, and then you're basically like a walking, talking gimbal. This lens is also super sharp, and if there could only be one lens I would be able to use for the rest of my life, I could confidently say it would be this one. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's move on to what gimbal I'm using. Now, to be completely honest with you, last year I didn't have a gimbal, and at the start of this year I also didn't have a gimbal. And that is until Zion sent me their brand new Weeble 3. This is in no way sponsored whatsoever, but I've been blown away by this tiny gimbal. This had to tick a fair few boxes for me to be able to bring it along on my trips. 1, it had to be lightweight, 2, it had to be small, and 3, it had to be able to support my Canon R6 with the 24-70mm on it, and this ticks every one of those boxes. It's strong, it's lightweight, and the battery lasts forever. To be completely honest with you, there is not another gimbal that I would choose over this because it fits into my backpack so easily. I'm blown away and I'm pumped that I've got it. Next up is my drone. Now this is something that hasn't changed from last year, as I'm still rocking the Mavic 2 Pro. I know the Mavic 3 Pro is out, and don't get me wrong, that thing looks amazing, but I can't justify the purchase on any level. The Mavic 2 Pro is still crushing it in my opinion, and I have had no issues with it whatsoever. The still image quality that comes out of this is great, and the video quality that comes out of this is also mind-blowing. I'm pumped to say that I've had this drone for now 3 years, and not once has it let me down. I won't be upgrading until I either unfortunately crash it or it gives way and stops working on me. Either way, I'm stoked this drone has lasted 3 years, and it really is a testament to DJI's quality and the products that they make. Okay, and last but not least, the tripod and a few little other accessories that I use. So the tripod I have is a Gitzo. I'm not exactly sure on the model, it should be on your screen now, and I've been rocking this tripod for the last 2 years. I can't lie, I personally wouldn't recommend you go and purchase one. Not only are they incredibly expensive, but you can get very similar quality ones for about half the price. It's kind of crazy. The only reason I have this tripod is that it was a 21st birthday present from my family to myself, and in my opinion, the way I see this tripod is it's like the Ferrari of tripods. It's super strong, fully carbon fiber, and it's very lightweight. I'm stoked with this tripod, and I really don't see myself ever needing to upgrade. I also carry around a variable ND filter and a circular polarizing filter. I use these when I'm shooting in the conditions that I need to use them in. They're not on my camera all the time, but they definitely do help me when I'm out in the field. So apart from a handful of SD cards, a few spare batteries, and a microfiber cloth here and there, that is all my camera gear wrapped up. If you're wondering what I edit on, I currently have the 16-inch M1 MacBook Pro, the M1 Pro MacBook Pro. This thing covers my needs completely, and everything I throw at it, it tackles very well. The only thing is that it's quite big, so to combat that on any small trips that I go on, I also have an M1 iPad Pro with the little keyboard case. The iPad is lightweight, super small, and very quick. I'm stoked with it, and the way that Lightroom Mobile is progressing, it makes editing photos on the road a dream. The only thing it can't do very well is edit videos like I'd want it to, but that's okay, as 9 times out of 10, I'm just using it to dump files onto my SSD and go from there. And with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. This is everything inside of my camera bag for 2022, and I'm stoked with all the gear that I have. It serves my needs perfectly, and I don't see myself upgrading a thing for the foreseeable future. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you're new around here, a subscribe would be awesome, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.